I'm going to give you 5 ways to get to interest, because there's probably no one on the planet you're going to sit down with and say, can you share with me your interest? And they're going to respond, right? No one's going to do that. And I completely agree with you that it can feel, very whining, if you get my joke there. I'm not a very good joke teller, but okay. So first of all, you can just ask for their position. What is it that you're asking for? Can you tell me a little bit more about why? So you can start there. Okay. And sometimes people feel more comfortable starting off with, because they're wired to share their demand, and then dig under. Just, kind of like an iceberg, know that what you're seeing, what they're asking for, there's a lot more underneath the water. So you need to get to the underlying why. Another thing is to just test my understanding. I'm going to hypothesis test my understanding of what your interest might be. Now, the only way I can do that is if in preparation, I thought about what you might be concerned about, what might be your fears, needs, concerns, and say, based on work we've done together before, or based on spending a little time thinking about your choice, it seems like, these might be your 3 top concerns. Am I missing anything? What do I have wrong? Practice some humility, right? And people like to criticize. That's one thing I can tell you about people do like to criticize. So if you propose kind of some interest that you've thought about they might have, they're going to most likely respond and say, well, that's not it at all. Okay, I've got a boss I've got to go back. I've got a promotion next week. I've got a metric I'm trying to meet. That's really what's driving. Number 3, share some of your own. So there's this idea in negotiation around reciprocity. I get more of what I give. If I am willing to share with you some of my needs, fears, concerns, motivations, I can lead with that. There's a better likelihood of that I'm going to get some of that back. Okay. So rather than myself just sharing with you my positions, my demands, my wants, I'm going to share with you my interests, and I'm going to play that reciprocity card and get some of that back. 2 more. And these 2 involve options. One is options with an S, different from offers. An offer usually comes across as a single offer. Will you accept it or not? That's a commitment. And when I do that, I don't typically get interest back. But if I can say, hey, Rudy, I can imagine 3, 4, 5 different ways we might solve this. We could do A, B, C, D, E, whatever it might be. Any of those you like better than another? Why? And the answer I'm going to get there is going to be interest. The other thing I can do is I could say, hey, Rudy, here's a crazy idea. So this is number 5, last way. Throw out a crazy idea and ask for criticism. Here's a crazy idea. Don't ask you to commit to it. I just want you to tell me what would be wrong with this. Why don't you work for us for free and whatever else? Okay. Completely insane idea. Well, I wouldn't be able to meet this bill requirement. I'm going to look like a fool, right? All those things you hear back when you give somebody a crazy idea and ask them to critique it, not agree to it. And you got to be really clear on what you're asking them to do. All those things are going to be interests as well. 5 different ways to pull out interests, and I would use all of them to do that.